All right. I just wanted to share a little bit about how I journal, because when it comes to tarot journaling, I think that it's so unique for everyone. And I think that I've finally found something that works and something that I've consistently been doing for this whole year, I think. I was horrible when it came to keeping track and documenting all of the readings that I had done until this year. I had gone through so many different journals. I tried just taking photos and videos on my phone and kind of writing things out there. And now I do kind of a combination. So sometimes if the reading is impromptu or I'm out of the house, I will still record on my phone, because I think that's a great way to get video of the cards and also kind of get all the thoughts out. And especially if it's a really beefy, meaty reading, it's easier to do that than to quickly write everything out, I think. So sometimes I'll start off doing that and then I go and document and write everything down later. So this is what I use. I have two of my favorite fountain pens. These are Pelikan. I don't know what specific number they are, but they're Pelikan fountain pens. And I usually use those to journal and write, and I think that it just kind of adds a special touch. This is my Canon Ivy mini printer. It's a photo printer, so it connects to Bluetooth on your phone, and then you can just print. They're pretty small. I'll show you in a little bit. And this is the journal. This was a different journal. I think it was like a manifestation journal or something like that, and I switched it to be a tarot journal. So I'm just going to show you this month's stuff because it doesn't have any reflections in it, and I feel like that's probably the best to do right now. Let's see. So this is how I lay it out. I have my card that I drew. So I did a year ahead spread, and it was a tarot and an oracle for the year. And this month is the Three of Cups, and this is the Seed and Sickle Oracle, and this is Ragwort. And then I will take that card and do a Celtic cross with it. And I'll put the Celtic cross, I'll put the card of the month in the first, in like position number 1, and then shuffle and do my reading based on that. So I have my cards for this month, and both of these were printed from the printer, and then I'll write up my kind of interpretations, and then I leave space on the other side for reflections, and I'll go back at the end of the month and reflect on everything that's happened and how this reading has really shown up for me. I also work with the Weaver's Oracle, and I like to pull a weaver each for each month. And then any readings that I do throughout the month will also come into here. So I did 2 spreads for the equinox. See, this is a filled out one. I also document different forms of divination. So I used D&D dice. I also just recently got some regular 6-sided dice, and I'm going to try out some things with that. We'll flip through a little bit, and then I can add some voiceover if need be. So before I had the pictures, I would just kind of draw stuff out like this, and it was a little bit frustrating, to be honest. And it wasn't the easiest, and I didn't know what deck I was using, but since getting this printer, it's really been kind of game-changing and has really helped make it so much easier to document my readings. And I've been doing this since, I think I got this in April maybe? It's messy and I write fast when everything comes. When I do the readings, it is a hot mess sometimes, but it's what it needs to be. It's functional, and I'd much rather have something that works for me rather than looks Instagram ready, because if something is just aesthetically beautiful, it doesn't work for me. But that is how I tarot journal. So I'm doing a reading, just a general reading, a check-in, and I wanted to kind of show exactly how I do my tarot journaling. So we laid the cards out, we did the reading. I always use the back of the deck. I think that it brings like a shadow, unconscious element to it. So I'm going to take a picture of the reading. So I just pushed the cards over to the side so that I can have a little bit of room to work. I am going to open up to where my journal is. And let's begin. So I've got my printer, it's on. I'm going to print the picture, and there's just a little printer app. So I'm going to resize it, make sure everything looks good, and hit print. And then you can see it printed out. I have a little sticky note that I have, and I like to keep track of how many little pages are left in here so that I don't go to print something and then just come up with nothing. And then I go and write down what each card is in the picture over here so that I can just kind of get it at a glance, because sometimes it's hard to read the little pieces. I also color code everything. So we've got water, earth, fire, air, and I like purple for the major arcana. So Okay, so once I have everything written out like this, I like to kind of take a look and see what element and how much of certain numbers there are and things like that. So something that really stuck out to me is the amount of major arcana cards that came up, and they all are in a row. So we have a major arcana for the back of the deck, which is the Sun. And then we have 3 major arcanas in a row. We have the Empress in position number 7 for internal drive. So what is driving me coming from within? We have the Hermit in position number 8 for how I am meeting the world and how the world is meeting me. So it's that threefold return position, as Melinda Lee Holm would say. And then for position number 9, which is labeled as hopes and fears, we have the Tower. And the Tower has been following me in readings since July, I think. So at this point, I'm just so used to seeing it, it doesn't even faze me. So we have those. Another thing, we have 2 aces, which are of opposing elements. We have the Ace of Earth in position 4 for kind of internal wisdom that I know, or wisdom that is coming from within. And we have the Ace of Air for position number 6 for kind of what's to come in the future, in the near future, the energy that's coming in. We also have 2 5s. We have the 5 of Earth for position number 2, and that's kind of what is causing some tension in this situation. And then we have the 5 of Water for position number 10, which is kind of the key to unlocking the full potential of the reading. So we have a lot going on and a lot of shake-up energy with the 2 5s, and this feels like it's going to be some important things are happening in life right now, considering how many major arcana cards we're getting. So I'm just going to journal a little bit on this, and we'll see you back in a bit. So I just finished journaling. I think that there was a lot to take in from this reading, but ultimately I am glad that I did it. Even though sometimes you're faced with some difficult cards, it's okay, because that's what they're here for, to teach you. Thank you for watching. Yeah.